It's amazing if you plug everything in, it tends to work. Hey, there we go. Now we're moving ahead. Hey. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. I'm going to ask all of my fellow veterans to please stand and be recognized. Remember, all gave some, and some gave all. It's also Marine Corps birthday, 247 years. And we'd ask the Marine Corps, our Marine Corps Color Guard to present the colors. If you would all please stand.
Face. Present the colors.
If you would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Mark.
Please remain standing while they retire the colors.
Face. Forward. Mark.
Let's thank our and recognize Tom Cullerberg, Cliff Kruger, Bob Krakowski, Doug Logan, John Martinez, and Sergeant of Arms Joe Scorin. Thank you, gentlemen. Please be seated. And we have our normal agenda. Our treasurer's report, membership, club matters, classes, community matters, and then our feature presentation. Well, we're doing all right financially. We're floating and well in money. We're also looking first of the year and reevaluating the computers we have in the lab, our Windows computers. They are by computer age dinosaurs. They're 6 years old. So we have to reevaluate them and consider replacements. So some of that unallocated funds and capital reserve fund will be reduced once we start buying some more additional equipment. Grafton Food Pantry donation, $837.91. And thank you for your donations on the donuts and coffee. Just so you know, that $800 here converts to more than $6,000 at the food pantry in the amount of food they can buy as a result of our donations. They greatly appreciate whatever we can do for them. Membership, that bump there, 2024, that's a result of our 3-year renewal program. So that's going to work its way through. We're up to 1,495 in total members at this time. General Club Matters. Second Thursday of the month, we'll continue to meet here starting at 9:30, coffee at 9 o'clock. There's no reason to get here at 8. We understand some folks were here again at 8 o'clock. Now, the rumor has it they were here at 8 o'clock to catch the bus to the casino. So the donut was kind of, Dunkin' Donut on the run. The lab continues to be open on Monday and Thursday mornings, 9 to noon, and it will be open after this meeting this morning. Apple Group will continue to meet on the first Tuesday of the month, 9 a.m. in the lab. The photography group is on winter break until March. We have two new to us, VHS to DVD machines. They're in-house, getting heavy use. If you have tapes you want to convert to DVD, sign up on the schedule list now, and you might find an hour or two in a month or two. It's very, very popular activity. Next month, we have folks from the Wellness Center here to give their presentation, Digital Technology for the Family Caregiver. This is a presentation they did, I think it was October, maybe September, and had it for other folks in the community. And they're graciously coming in next month to do the presentation for club members. In January, we have a couple of assistant superintendents coming in to do a presentation from District 158 on their STEM curriculum, which they now, I understand, have expanded it basically from K through 12. STEM, if you're not familiar, is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So they're making an attempt to help the younger generation or youngest generation be prepared for professions in the future. February, it's going to be a surprise, the feature. We don't know yet. Requests and suggestions are welcome. Send me an email or come on up after the meeting and say, gee, it'd be nice if you would do such and such. And any suggestions, again, are welcome. It gets better. Yes, Earl and Pearl the Pickles are daily reading. Computer club classes are free to members. No registration required. Just come on in. Remember to bring your password in case you want to activate your device in the lab. And we'll show you how to get on our Wi-Fi so you can actually use them. Our classes this month are only 3. Our normal Android class, our now advanced iOS 16 class both on Tuesday morning and afternoon. And at the end of the month, as the tax season approaches, we're revisiting a class we offered a year ago that was very popular, where we're talking about preparing your information for your tax preparer. So it's going to be helpful for those who use outside preparers for their taxes. No classes in December. We're giving the instructors the month off so they can go shopping. Community matters. This is really important. Show of hands, how many have validated their birthdays? Well, I'll just skip through the rest of these slides. Anything goes. It's the theater club's performance for this month, 17th, 18th, and 19th here in Drendel. It's a Cole Porter musical. It's a great show, and I understand they've got some very nice special effects already in the program. McRide is a partnership between McHenry County seniors and Pace Bus, where seniors can get a ride anywhere that they go for a small $5 cost per trip. Our board of directors is not meeting in November. Their next meeting is on the 7th of December. And as a reminder, the HOA fees are going up by $4 come next year. As I mentioned, Grafton Food Pantry is a special group that we consider and we help here out of the club. They've got 2 things going on, just to bring it to your attention. The first one is a $30 donation, which will provide a meal for a family of 8 over the holiday. The second one is their Adopt a Family, where they have lists of Christmas gifts for families that are in need of some support. Both are going on until almost till Christmas Eve. So if you're inclined, please help them out. They will be very, very grateful. The oldie but goodie.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now, if you follow along and decide to purchase something from each slide, we're going to melt your credit card. We have intentionally excluded any discussion on smartphones, tablets, and computers. We're getting into the more peripheral and more entertaining items, except the first one, which is a new technology, sort of new technology in inkjet printers. If you have an inkjet printer today, you're buying cartridges that you put in the printer, and of course, they never have enough ink in them. Epson has come out with this new line, and you know, we really don't endorse product, iPhone, but this is such a new technology. They really wanted to bring it here and say, look, here's an option. This line of Epsons, which range from $100 to $14.50, believe it or not. The single bottle of black is $14. A 3-pack of color ink is $50. And you just pour the ink into the reservoirs and just keep refreshing that rather than going out to anybody's store or on Amazon and buying cartridges that you plug in. I've got good reports from those that have these. They are multifunction, which means they're printer, copier, and scanner, and fax if you still do faxes. It's a reasonable price, and it has a good reputation, and Epson does have a good reputation. A power bank is nothing more than a portable backup battery. I have a couple that I've used back in the day when I was working, whatever that was. It was very helpful, particularly at O'Hare. And this is the days before they had USB ports to plug in to charge your devices. In this case, Samsung is one of many that manufactures these devices. This one is a 10,000 milliamp hours device. It can charge 2 devices simultaneously. It's a USB connector. It's compatible with smartphones and tablets. $49. Samsung makes this one a 20,000 milliamp hours a device for $50. Again, we'll charge 2 devices simultaneously, USB connector, and again, compatible with phones and tablets. Charging blocks. Those that bought, I'm going to say iPhone in the early days, you had a little cube that was a 5-watt charging block. Things have advanced. Today, you can get charging blocks ranging from 25 watts up to really, I think it's 70 now, that are compatible with phones and tablets. It's for a quicker charge, so instead of waiting for a couple of hours to charge up your phone, it'll do it in 30 minutes. So it's a really small investment, you know, to save you time. And you can see that a couple of these have multiple ports, so you can do multiple devices at once. I would suggest the 40-watt with 4 ports would be ideal for your children's family if they have more than 1 child, because they will need all 4 of those connectors. Phone cases, very inexpensive investment in protecting your cell phone, or your smartphone, if you will, ranging in price from $12 up to $100. The most expensive ones are made by a company, I think it's OtterBox. And the $40 and the $70 are that. The rings around the camera there are significantly deeper than any other part of the case. And that's to protect the cameras if you, of course, drop the phone. And dropping the phone, there were tests done years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, dropping phones with and without cases, and the phones with cases seem to survive 90% of the time, where those without cases survive maybe 30% of the time. And these are drops from, I think it was 10 feet, 3 meters. So it's worth a small investment for long-term protection. And when you think about it, even $70 for a case is a whole lot less than having to replace the screen or the whole phone. So it's something to think about. Earbuds. Here are 5 manufacturers, and there are probably 5 more out there. But these are the ones that ring a bell in my head as far as top quality producers, ranging from the $25 JBL up to Apple's $250 and Bose's $280. All of these manufacturers offer a variety of earbuds, all wireless, all Bluetooth. So if you have a Bluetooth device, the earbuds, any of these will work with it. And again, depending upon your needs and the needs of any grandchildren, let's say, and of course, it's a way to get even with your own kids. You give them the earbuds. Anyway, it's an option. AirTags and tiles. Apple AirTags, a 4-pack for $93, plus the holders, or the Galaxy SmartTag, which is compatible with any of the Android devices or any of the Windows devices. Why these devices? If anybody ever lose the remote control for their television, you can show your hand, really, sir. Take one of these devices and attach it to the back of the channel changer, and then you can find it using your phone. Now, if you can't find your phone, then you put one of these on the back of the phone. The other big use is to, excuse me, the other big use is to put one of these on the collar of any of your pets, not spouses. Another big use for travelers who check their luggage. They put these in or on the luggage, and with your phone then you can detect how close it is to the carousel when it spits it out onto the carousel at the luggage return. And there are many ingenious ways to use these devices. They have a range of up to 50 feet, like that's the Bluetooth range. So there are ways to use them and ways to take advantage of them. Drones, here we get into the toys. 45 to 99, there are versions for children, 73-year-old children, that are half the price. These all have cameras. That's why I picked these. There are very many that are inexpensive without cameras. But why have a drone if you can't have a camera with it? And again, I didn't mention this. All of the prices and all of the devices I'm showing are really from the Amazon website. It was easier to use Amazon than to use some of the others. And all of these prices, of course, change day to day. Security cameras. We hear about these in the news all the time, about the things going on the street. These are two of these manufacturers I'd never heard of, but you get good ratings from Consumer Reports and other magazines out there. Arlo at $39. These are all wireless, they're all outdoor, they're battery powered, they're Wi-Fi, they're two-way talk, some with Alexa, with motion detectors. They range in, there are some that are actually less expensive than the 39, and others that of course are more expensive than the Blink. And I like the Blink because it has the floodlights. And that would help with the image, actual image that is recorded. And again, Wi-Fi motion detection, two-way talk, some work with Alexa, whether it's, you look at it as a holiday gift or just a nice safety thing to have in your home, it's worth investigating. Doorbell cameras. The first three on the left and to the right, all look alike. Wonder why. They're copies of the Ring camera. Ring, Blink, and AOSU are all in the similar price range. The AOSU, I think, is a newer manufacturer, and they're kind of a middle price range. The Ekin on the far right starts at $49 and goes up. But again, like the security cameras, these devices will give you other protection and other ways to see who's coming to the door or not, delivering your mail, delivering your UPS, or bringing your Amazon Prime parcels. And it's something that it's easily installed by anybody, really. How many have 13-inch screens on their laptops? Come on, there's more than 3. If you're like me, you prefer bigger is better. All of these monitors can be plugged into your laptop to give you a screen 2 and 3 times the size, so it's easier to read, easier to use, and more, frankly, more fun if you're into games. These prices are right off the Amazon website. These manufacturers are all major manufacturers: HP, ViewSonic, Samsung, and LG. and it really help you use your computer better. But they also will show television shows and movies. Sound bars. These are all compatible with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and they were initially designed for use with televisions. Well, you know what? They also work with your computer and your tablet and your phone. So if you have a music library on your computer, you could Bluetooth it, match it up, and use these devices for the music on the computer. Sony, Bose, Sonos, and Samsung are 4 of the manufacturers that are out there. If you walk through Costco, you'll see all of these and others on the shelf. None of them this inexpensive though. So anyway, the wireless subwoofer is really for your more powerful bass tones. Streaming devices. We hear about streaming devices a lot. These 3 are ones that are out there. There are others. Roku, the Google Chromecast, and of course the Apple TV. Prices range anywhere from $28 on the Chromecast up to $129 for the Apple TV. Some come with subscription services for streaming software, streaming of programs. Others you've got to pay additional to the providers. And you go from streaming devices to streaming services. Here are 10, and there are another 10 that are out there and available. You'll notice there is no pricing listed because you can't figure it out. Disney Plus, for example. With Disney Plus, you can get Hulu, ESPN, Star Wars, National Geographic, and Marvel. You know, I think it's $12 a month now, and it's going to go up. Peacock is a subsidiary, if you will, of NBC, and Paramount Plus here on the bottom left is affiliated with CBS Broadcasting. Again, there are many more. If you are now a Prime member on deliveries, the Prime Video is free. You just have to be able to access it on your device. Smart speakers as opposed to the sound bars. These talk to you. They have Alexa on 3 of them, and on the Apple device you have Siri. So if you need someone to talk to, get one of these. And they'll answer you. You may not appreciate how, but they give you an answer. And again, all of these are 4 of many that are out there. And there are, within these 4 manufacturers, a lot of variety and a lot of options to choose from. Photo stick. We get questions at the lab. How do I take the photos off my camera and save them? Here is one device. Would plug into the port on your phone or your tablet or on your computer. You can download it over to these photo sticks, as they're called. There are many versions of this out there. I just picked this one as an example. They are all in the $50 up category, and they're all, they will do what you want easily. Of course, we all recommend that instead of doing this, you get a cloud storage account and move the stuff to the cloud. And we're going to move on. We're going to ask Jeff Stipes to come up. He's got this cute little gizmo for cell phone photographers. Jeff?
So, one of the questions that's commonly asked.
Up to the mic.
I thought I was. So, one of the questions that's commonly asked of people involved in photography is, what's the best camera to have? And the answer for a long time has been the one you have with you. Mm-hmm. So how many of you have your camera with you? And this little device here has changed that. You know, prior to this, not too many would have raised their hands. Ulanzi's cap grip is a device that anchors or attaches to your mobile phone and gives you a hand grip so you can one-hand the phone and a shutter release for it. The device, actually the good news is
I checked it this morning, it's down 4 cents, it's now $17.95. As David said, you gotta just check each day, it goes down, it goes up. It's a device that will attach to your camera and then it connects via a Bluetooth. If you have a very heavy case on your camera, where it's more than a ½ inch, it won't connect. So as I measured mine this morning, it has a rubber case on it, and I'm a little bit under a ½ inch. But if you have a real heavy case on it, it won't attach to it because the case is too thick. Likewise, if you have one of those pop-ups on the back, it's not going to attach because of that. But again, if you're going to use it, you can always temporarily take the case off and put it on. It weighs about 3 ounces. It will stabilize the camera, make it easier for you to hold. One of the nice things about it is that it has a shutter release button that removes. You can see it down here in the left-hand corner. A little button that triggers the shutter will come off. The device also has a 1/4 inch threaded tube for a tripod. So if you wanted to take a family picture, you could screw it to your tripod, and the shutter release will work easily, at least 30 feet away. Not that you're going to get that far away, but it's a very good device. It makes it a lot easier. Granted, if you're using it, we have a number of members in the club who exclusively use their mobile phone as their camera. So if you're going out with the specific intent of doing photography, having a device like that is really handy. It'd be easier to hold the phone, steady, more stable. It's worth for $17.99 or $17.95, perhaps a great stocking stuffer. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. As I mentioned, we don't endorse product, but we will take contributions for special announcements, and we have one this morning. Lynn Ruby, where are you? Raise your hand. Don't be bashful. She's not here.
Over there.
Well, I was told that in celebration of your birthday, and we don't know any numbers, which is Friday, that anything we showed in the first half hour is yours. You just have to talk to your favorite Santa Claus. Congratulations. How come I'm putting this? I got it upside down. Sorry, I had the clicker upside down. I corralled 3 other staff members this morning for the presentation, and I said, put together your favorite apps and bring them along, and we'll share them with the audience. First one up is Ralph Linus, who's our class coordinator, and he's got an app called Hallmark Cards at Home. Ralph?
What size is it? Well, good morning. Let's see, I got my slide on. Before I get into the presentation, I have about 3 or 4 questions. How many people buy greeting cards? And that could be sympathy cards, it could be birthday cards, and some people don't buy cards. Okay. So how many people make their own cards? Good. Okay, now, the people that raise their hand the first time that buy cards, you're going to be more interested in this presentation than people that make them, because I'm going to tell you how you can print your own cards at home and save a lot of money. Now, for example, Susie and I don't think we bought a greeting card for maybe 25 years. In 1997, we got what was called Create a Card, and I think they're out of business now. And then we went to American Greeting Cards, and now we have Hallmark cards. But it's amazing what you can do now with computers and making cards. And one other question I have, since I haven't bought a card for many years, How expensive are they? Are they $3, $5? I mean, I understand they're expensive. $10? Not 10. Anybody would buy a card for $10? No. How about 6? You can raise your hand. This isn't an auction. Maybe 5. Well, whatever it is. Okay. The thing of it is, it's really easy to make your own cards at home, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. And Hallmark is a name printer everybody knows. For $29.99, you can get the Hallmark Card Studio, and this works on Windows machines. It's their basic one. Now, believe it or not, in this box, it's got over 11,000 different cards. That sounds like a lot, right? I don't know of any store that's got 11,000 greeting cards. If it is, it's going to be a really big one. Now, if you want to get fancier, you can move up to the deluxe version. They've got over 20,000 cards, but they got one little feature that's kind of interesting. Let's say you're sending a birthday and a graduation card and everything to the same person. Graduation, maybe from grade school or high school, college, and then a birthday, then it could be a granddaughter, grandson. Well, you can actually put the card in a file under their name so that you don't send the same thing twice. Just click on the name and voila, up comes the card you sent. So it's like, oh, I can't do that. But here's what I told Susan. I said, well, that sounds like a pretty good deal. But send somebody a birthday card this year. A year later, they have no idea what they got last year. You know how we are. But and this one, like I say, 20,000 cards are in that setup. And this is also for Windows. Now, we didn't forget Mac. For $39.99, you can get one for Mac, and it's got a little over 12,000 cards in there. Now, that really sounds like a lot of cards. Do you really need that many? You know what? You could probably get by with 300 cards because every card in there, you can change. You can change, they call it the front, the left, the right, and the back. You can change any one of the 4 sides of the card. You can insert stuff. You can change the font. You can change the color, insert pictures, whatever you want to do. So you don't really need that many, but you know what? It's kind of nice to look through and come up with one. But normally what you'll find is after going through about 6 pages, you get started, I'm getting tired. You'll find one you really like and you'll start saving it. So the next time, like I go to Susan and say, oh, I just heard my neighbor down there died. They need a sympathy card. In less than 5 minutes, I'm ready to put the stamp on that baby. Because she saves the cards that we really like, and we can just go into it and print it. It's so easy, you can't believe it. And I'm not very smart, but I can do it. And then I'm going to tell you about that a little bit later. I just can't believe how much money we've saved with printing our own cards. Now, when you click on the Card Studio, this is what you're going to see. So it gives you several subjects, that you can pick out, and you just click on it. And I picked special days. This is what you'll see when you go into special days. You have on the left side, you have various like graduation, retirement. You can get Spanish language, and then you'll start scrolling down. Here are the cards you're going to see. You can scroll down, and there again, if you see one you kind of like, it's got a preview. You click on that, and it comes into the center, and it'll say front, left, right, and rear or back. So you can just click on it, and you can see what's on the front, and see what's on the inside and on the left, on the inside, on the right. Normally where the verse is. And then the back. Now, let's say, for example, you like the first card on the left on the top. You say, I like that card, but I don't like the verse on the inside. So you find a verse you like, maybe this one at the bottom here. So you copy the verse, you go to the card you like, put that verse in, and now you got the card you like with the verse you like. And you can save it that way so that next time you don't have to worry about doing that. Like I say, it's such a simple operation to be able to do things like that with these cards. And like I told you, if you don't like what's on there, you can make some changes. Now, what I've done, I've brought 3 cards for samples if anybody wants to look at. Here's one that's an anniversary card. The only thing that's changed on this was the back. Susie put her name on it. Here's one where she put the name, it was for her aunt, the card made a card. And this card I made, believe it or not, it's changed on the front, the left, the right, and the back. So you can see, basically, I started with nothing because I changed everything on this card. And that's what you can do. It's such a simple, and it's really not expensive. I mean, you'll recover that if you go $29.99 or $39.99, you'll recover that if you send a lot of cards, probably in a month. If you don't send many, within a year, you're going to recover that. Plus, it's going to be personalized. I'm going to tell you one instance. A lady around the corner that I know real well, her granddaughter was getting married, and I didn't know how to come up. She said, I've been looking all over for a wedding card for my granddaughter, and I can't find one. I'll get you one. went home, I said, Susie, make a wedding card for Dolores' great-granddaughter, our granddaughter. What, 5-6 minutes, she said, how's this? And I said, beautiful, because something's better than nothing. I gave it to her, and a couple of days later, she said, I can't believe how many people say this. I said, where did you find a card like that? I've never seen one. Obviously, because it was made. That's what you can do with this Hallmark greeting card. Now, you might want to give that to maybe one of your kids. If you don't give cards for your kids, think, don't they even think about my I had an 80th birthday, I didn't get a card. They might get the message to start sending cards because it's so easy. I would say we got a laser printer. They recommend, inkjets because they're a more intense color. But with our laser printer, we're probably printing any one of these 3 cards probably cost 50 cents, maybe 45 cents to print. And I know you can't buy them that cheap at the stores.
Thank you, Ralph. Next, we have Bill Zaletti. He has something from Apple, MyQ garage door opener, Nest heating and cooling, and is it Rachio? Rachio.
Right side. Yeah, right side of it, right side. Right side.
Like that.
That's it.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, all of the apps that I'm going to show you today are available both on Apple and on your Android phone. While this is the Apple app that I use on my phone, this is the Health app. I don't know how many of you have used this Health app on any of your phones. Okay, you can track the different things that I've got up there, sleep, steps, walking, running. I would tell you that this particular app attaches to my iWatch, and I can assure you that this saved my life over the last 12 months. Because when my heart rate dropped below 40 beats per minute consistently one night, I had to end up going to the hospital. I now wear a pacemaker, which is good, I guess. But the point was that it actually triggered something and set an alarm off to help me and get to the doctor in the proper time. This is just some views that I have of this Health app. This is a summary view on the iPhone. When it comes up, that's what it looks like. And this is in the new iOS 16 format. This is another view of the Health app that it tells you what your heart rate is. You can see that 38 to 176. And on the other side, it gives you a sleep pattern. So if you have a watch, now this, if you have an Android, you can get the same type of output. You just have to have an Android compatible watch, whatever that is, and it'll tell you what your sleep pattern is. If you look over there, you can see the deep sleep on the right-hand side at the very bottom, and then it tells you, what is it, I forget what the next line up, but then it's REM sleep and then awake. You can see, and this is not my sleep, by the way, this is right off the internet, that you can see how sleep goes up and down all night long, and I think that's typical of most people. Another one, track your medications. If you put your medications into your phone, again, either phone, iPad, iPhone, or the Android, and tell them what time you're supposed to take your medications, it will automatically trigger an alarm letting you know it's time to take that medication that you put in the phone. Also, by putting your medications in the phone, if you're in an accident or you pass out or whatever, and the EMTs come along, they have a way to get into your phone through emergency and actually see what all your medication lists are. So that's something that's really important. And all this stays confidential in your phone. It does go to the iCloud, but it's tied to your ID and your password. So it's a very secure way to capture your data. MyQ garage door opener. This is one that I just got, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. The idea of this app is to attach it to your garage door opener, or if you don't already have a garage door opener that has a Wi-Fi capability, and it allows you to open up your garage door wherever you are. So if I'm in, let's say I'm down in Alabama for the winter and somebody says I need to get into your garage for something for whatever reason, you can open that garage door from a remote location. Also, they have an Amazon delivery one-time open capability. So if you're an Amazon Prime member and you ordered something and you want it delivered in your garage rather than left on your front steps, you can say, put it in here, put it in the garage, and it gives Amazon the capability to open your garage door and close it using the SmartQ app. I think that's a pretty cool feature. You can schedule and make sure that your garage door is automatically closed by 7 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, or whatever. It has a live streaming video if you have a camera. I do not have a camera on mine, but you can put a camera on it so you can see what's going on in there in your garage at any time. This is an example of how it's installed. All you have to do is set it up and then attach it to your Wi-Fi in your house, and it'll automatically connect to your garage door and off you run. Nest heating, how many of you have smart thermostats in your house? Okay, I use the Nest only because I got it free from my son, which is nice. This Nest thermostat has a couple of features in it. They're both air heating and air conditioning. It also has a filter change reminder, which is really good to tell you when it's time to change your furnace filters for both the winter and the summer. You can have these multiple programs you see up here on the screen for certain times of the day. And it also tells you what your temperature is. Again, remotely, you can change your temperature wherever you are through a Wi-Fi connection. It's very easy to use, remote access, know when you're at peak efficiency, monitoring your home continuously, and you can save money on energy costs. It also has a smart feature to it that if you use it through Google, it'll actually, you can go up and change your thermostat manually, and it'll automatically set these program times depending on what your preferences have been. The Ratio, does anybody in here have a irrigation system at their house? Does anybody in here have a smart irrigation controller? Okay. I can tell you unequivocally, this will save you between 30 and 50% of your water usage. And if you know what the cost of water is today, that's absolutely amazing because it's getting very expensive in our area for watering. This particular one that I have is, well, I don't have the Ratio 3, that's a newer model, but it's an 8-zone sprinkling system. It took me about 20 minutes to set it up. Once I got it set up, it automatically, I went in and set the program times on it. I have two programs set in mind. One is open and closing, which for the people when they come to open up my system in the springtime, I just open that program up. It goes from zone to zone. Run time is 3 minutes, so they can check the sprinkler heads. When it's time to shut down, it runs 3 minutes, so it can pull out the sprinkler heads. And then I have a regular zone feature that I run all year long. Some of the new things that they've done is a smart schedule. So right now we're in November, Ratio, and it's attached to the internet, so it automatically changes the programs. It knows what months of the year and what your sprinkling or what the sprinkling requirements are. So in the peak of the summer, it'll actually run longer than it will, say, like in May, June. Then it goes up in July, may stay up, or may go up again in August, then start to come back down in September, and so on and so forth. It also, 2 years ago, in this smart sprinkling system, it automatically came in and did something different. And that is, instead of having a zone run for 20 minutes or 25 minutes in on a particular zone, it now runs for 10 minutes in a zone, goes all the way around your house, comes back, runs another 10 minutes in that zone, goes all the way around your house, and then 5 minutes if you have a 25-minute zone, so that you get a deep soaking type of sprinkling rather than one that runs for 25 minutes and some of that water is running off of your ground. That is something that they built into the system automatically. I did not have to program. So, Ratio sprinkler, this is what what it looks like on the controller. That's what the controller looks like on your house. This is the app on the left-hand side. Very easy to use. It has an automatic skip feature. I have mine tied to the Weather Channel. That's the channel that I chose. You can have 2 or 3 different channel selections, and it anticipates if it's gonna rain. So if it's gonna rain today, let's say if it's not gonna rain until noon, it would not have allowed my system to go off this morning. And of course, it allows you to run odd even like we have requirements here. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Bill. Before Shelley starts, as I mentioned, we'll take special requests for announcements with, of course, the right incentive. Ralph forgot, not that that's normal. He gave me a note here to remind, he said he forgot to put in his presentation. He and his wife Shelley and Susie Linus had a class. No, his note says Susie and Shelley. He says they're on the Sun City website doing a Hallmark card class. So if you go to our website and scroll down under classes, you'll find a Hallmark card class that Susie and Shelley did some time ago. Next we have Shelley.
Yeah, good morning, folks. Yeah, that class was done 2 years ago during the pandemic, and it was done over Zoom, so that's why it was easy to put that up on the website. I'm going to talk about if you're cutting the cord, and I did a class earlier this year on cutting the cord. And if you're into cutting the cord or just using streaming apps, here's 2 apps that you should be using that can make your streaming a lot easier. And I'm going to talk about one is Hoopla and the other one is called Just Watch.
Yes, hit that button again and close down the picture. Center button. Now use the right button.
Oh, this one. Okay. Okay, the first one we're going to talk about is Hoopla. And this Hoopla is an app actually, this is paid for by the Huntley Library. So everybody here hopefully has a Huntley Library card, so you have access to Hoopla. And Hoopla gives you not just streaming movies and TV programs, but a lot of other things as well. You can rent, or I'm sorry, you can actually borrow, is the term they use. You can borrow movies and TV programs for 3 days. You can also get audiobooks for 3 weeks, 21 days. And incidentally, on those audiobooks, when you're listening to an audiobook, you can change the speeds. If you want to go faster or slower, you can do that. They also have ebooks for 21 days and music for 7 days. They, unlike some other streaming apps, instead of paying for it by the month, what they do is they limit you to 10 borrows per month. So you can borrow 10 things of any of those categories. You can download the app on your phone, on an iPhone or an Android phone, or you can use it on your PC or Mac in the browser. The nice thing about it is, how many of you have used Libby or Overdrive for borrowing ebooks and things like that? Okay, so you may be used to going in there and it says you've got a lot of other people you're waiting for, and you got to put a hold on it, and you might get it in three weeks or 3 months or something like that. With Hoopla, there's no wait times. You get it immediately. So, it's really a good app to work with. Okay, to set up your account on Hoopla, if you're just getting into Hoopla, all you have to do is download the app on whatever device you want to use it on. And this can be either a TV, or it can be a streaming device, or it can be your phone. Here's some of the steps that you would need to go through. You can also do this on a PC, and it just steps you through it as to connecting with your library and putting in your your account passwords and so forth. And if you need help with this, the Huntley Library has a brochure that'll show you how to do this. And if you need further help, you can call the Huntley Library and they're happy to help you with it. So what do you need to do it? Well, if you're going to be watching a movie, let's say, streaming movies, you're going to want to do that on a, probably on a TV is the best way to do it because you have it on a big screen. But you can do it on smaller devices, tablets as well. Okay, so you're going to need a streaming device. You can use Roku, Amazon Fire TVs, Chromecast, or Apple TVs, and those range in price anywhere from $25 up to, for Apple TV, which is the most expensive, which is $129. So let's take a look and see what you can do. If you want to stream movies on Hoopla, you can go in and browse, and you'll be able to see all kinds of different recommendations for different movies. They do have popular movies, featured movies, and you have all different categories. So in addition to the movies, you can select TV shows or ebooks or audiobooks and music. Now, up along the top, right below there's a magnifying glass, which is your search icon. There's something that says advanced search. And in addition to searching for a particular title, you can actually do an advanced search. And this will let you select things not only by title, but if you want to select the movie by the people that are in it, the actors, by the release date, by a particular subject, whatever you might be looking for. And another thing you can use the app for is for, as we said, is ebooks. And you can browse through ebooks, or you just go to the top and do a search for whatever ebook you're looking for, and it'll tell you whether or not they have it. And again, it's immediate, so you're able to borrow this immediately without any wait times. And another thing they have on here is music. So if you'd like to not have to go out and buy music, you can actually listen to music from Hoopla. They have a pretty decent selection of musical albums and so forth. Now, one new feature that they've just added to Hoopla is something called Binge Pass. And the Binge Pass gives you 7 days. You get a week. It's a weekly borrow, but it gives you more than just one item. So, for example, the first one on there is CuriosityStream. How many are familiar with CuriosityStream? This is an app. It's actually an app that charges you. Normally, it's $3 a month if you wanted to use this without Hoopla, and you go in there and you can watch all kinds of different documentaries and so forth. Well, with Hoopla, you can go in there and get it for free and browse to your heart's content for 7 days. And then if you want more, you just borrow it again. Hello Source is, well, that's something for kids, but if you have your grandkids coming over, they can explore that. You can borrow magazines, so you can get a Binge Pass for magazines for a week, and that will let you read all the magazines you want for a week. By that time, you're probably tired of reading magazines, so you want to go on and do something else anyway. And the last one is the Great Courses. These are the video libraries of the Great Courses, and you can use your library card here again for that. For 7 days, you can binge away and take one of the Great Courses, which again saves you money. The original course price, if you wanted to just go in and get a subscription to Great Courses, they charge $12.50 a month. So the savings on using Hoopla can be tremendous. Not just individual videos and movies, but with these new binge passes as well. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about is something called Just Watch. Okay, so you have a lot of movies that you may want to be doing streaming with, and the question is, how do you find all these movies? Where, what services are going to be on, and so forth. So I like to use this app called Just Watch. What it does is it aggregates all your streaming apps together, so you can easily search for a particular title. It'll tell you what streaming service has it, and you can actually link those streaming services to this app, and it'll actually go right into that app, and you just click on it, and it'll start playing immediately. So, yeah, the first three things there are what relates to the rest of that actually was from the prior slide. So here's what Just Watch looks like. You go in there, it's got several categories along the left. So you've got search, which is primarily what you're going to want to do if you want to search for a particular title. You're searching for a movie or a TV show, you would type that in. You've got home. You can start with the home section, which will give you recommendations. You can say, I want new titles. It'll show you what movies or TV shows have recently been released. You can look for popular ones. It'll show you what other people are watching at the moment. And then you've got a watch list, so you can actually set up a list of what you want to watch next using the app. So the first thing you do when you go into Just Watch is you select which apps or which streaming services that you subscribe to. And these can be free ones or it can be pay ones. You might have Netflix, you might have Amazon Prime Video, or some of the free ones like Pluto or Tubi or so forth. Okay, after you check those off, it then will give you a screen that looks something like this. Along the top, it's going to show all the various streaming services that you want to find movies from. And if you want to search across all of them, you can just leave that on like that. Or you can say, okay, I just want to see what's on Netflix. So you can click Netflix and it'll show you recommendations from Netflix. And also the nice thing right below that, it's a little hard to see right from here, but below the list of streaming services, they actually give you filters that you can apply. So you can filter it by a particular year. You want to see just movies that came out in 2022, or a particular genre, country. If you're looking for foreign language, maybe you want a French film, you can look for all French films. You can look by ratings, by the runtime. If you want a shorter film, you can say I want one that's less than 90 minutes. You can do it by various different filters. So, okay, so now on this screen, what I've done is basically I said, okay, let's select new. So I'm looking at new movies, and I selected Prime Video, and I said, show me all the new movies on Prime Video, and it showed me this was a few days ago, but it had 19 titles that showed up that particular day, and you can swipe left and right to see all the various titles, and then you would just click on one of those, and then, so in this case, it clicked on a movie called Black Wave, and it shows the release date, which is 2015. It shows you an IMDb rating. It shows you the length of the movie, and then it shows you that you can watch that on Prime Video, and there's a +2, which means you can also watch it on 2 other services as well. So if you clicked on that, it would then give you the information as to which services they were and so on. Now here's another one, an example. This is just a movie, Contagion. And here again, it gives you more information about the film. And the nice thing is, right at the bottom, you can see a big Watch Now button. And this one is available on Netflix. If you click that button, it'll link you right into your Netflix and start showing the movie. And here again, you can search for any particular title. So in this case, I was searching for movies, A Rainy Day in New York. I clicked on Rainy, or Rainy Day rather, and I just typed that in. And it came up and said it's on all these various different services. So Rainy Day in New York, it's a Woody Allen film, for those of you who like Woody Allen films. This particular one is Woody Allen did a whole series of movies on the great cities and movies about great cities in Europe. He did London, Paris, and Rome. So then he decided to do one on his hometown, New York. So he did this one, and being from New York, I was interested in that one, so I pulled this one up. And it shows you that, you know, you can see some of those, it's on Amazon Prime, so if you have a subscription to that, you could watch it on there. It also shows you where you can rent it for various prices. Might be $1.99, $2.99, depending on the service. But you'll also see one of the ones on there is Hoopla. So you can watch this for free using your library card right from Hoopla. So if you clicked on that, it would take you into Hoopla, and then you can watch the movie from here. And one new thing that they've been adding to the Just Watch app, and this is still kind of in development. So it's what they call Just Watch Sports. So you can look for particular sports events, and it'll tell you where you can watch that particular sports event. They started out with the European sports. So but they're starting to expand now into American sports. And so it's basically a streaming guide for sports. They're going to be covering football, basketball, hockey, baseball, soccer, tennis, and Formula One racing. And they have both college and pro teams if you're looking for football. So yeah, both of those are pretty good apps that you might want to take a look at. Okay, we're up for questions.
Thank you, Joey. Are there any questions from the group? Yes, sir.
Just a second.
We're bringing a microphone back.
Going back about an hour, one of you were talking about chargers, high wattage chargers.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if any of them have detrimental effects to the phone.
There were some reports of the higher wattage chargers overcharging devices.
Yeah.
So I would, my own opinion, don't go bigger than a 45 watt. There's some go 60 and some go even bigger. 45 watts, probably the
I am not familiar with the Just Watch app. Howard just looked it up, and it does say there's a Just Watch Pro that costs $2.49 a month and carries no commitment. Do you know what is the difference between a Just Watch app and a Just Watch?
You really don't need that, the Just Watch Pro. Just Watch Free will pretty much give you everything I showed. So if you want to just search for a movie, you can link it to all your streaming services and so forth. So I mean, yeah, they want to make some more money, but they might give you a couple extra features, but you really don't need it.
This is for Ralph. What weight paper do you use for your cards, and how do you get those big envelopes?
Well, you have to use cardstock, and I think it's 90 pound. I saw it at, I was over to, I can't remember the name of the store, and there was 50 sheets for $4.99, so it's like 10 cents a sheet. And but you can buy the actual card from stock from Hallmark, and I think you get 25 envelopes and 25 sheets of cardstock. It's like $15.99. It's more expensive. The only difference is they got a crease down there, so when you fold it over, it folds real nice. If you don't have that, you got to be real careful when you fold it and get the edges, right together, and then press it down with your hand. Then take a ballpoint pen and run that right along the edge, and it makes a perfect line. Works out great. And you can even get different colors. You don't have to use white. You can get, I got one here that's a tan. You can get yellow, green, blue, whatever. But you got to have something that doesn't clash with the pictures that you have on your card.
A question I had was, does that make a difference if your printer doesn't print two-sided?
Yeah, you can do two sides by just.
Yeah, flip it over.
Yeah, the first time you use it, you set up your printer.
Okay.
It steps you through preparing your printer, so the next time it'll just go very smoothly. It actually tells you when to turn the paper over.
So you get your printer set up, it should work. It'll tell you to flip the paper over, put it in again.
Yeah, if you've got
And
two-sided.
if you have two-sided, it'll do it automatically.
Correct. And you don't have to buy the Hallmark cardstock. There are a number of other ones you can get. Avery has some that are a little bit less expensive, so you can use any of those.
Anybody else with any questions?
Here.
I have a question about cutting the cord. I like to continue watching major TV programs, ABC, CBS, NBC, those. Do any of these offer that?
I'm sorry, what, do any of what offer?
Local stations.
Oh, you want local stations? Well, if you're looking for ABC, ABC does have a streaming app. CBS has the Paramount app. NBC has the Peacock app. And you can get those apps and watch those stations. PBS has an app as well. And the advantage of using those streaming apps is you don't have, it's not what my wife calls appointment TV. You're actually going in and you can watch these on demand anytime you want. So if you go to PBS, you're able to see all the programs they've shown in the last couple of years and select which one you want to watch.
Yeah. It's not so much a question, but a comment in terms of overcharging phones and tablets. Have you guys heard of the Chargy device? It's a little thing that goes in, it costs like $40, and you plug it in on your charging cable, and there's a little app, and you can tell at what level to charge. I set mine to 80%, and it basically stops the current once it gets to 80%. It's something I found. I've got two of them, and I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I found that to be a handy device.
Well, I know in the Apple product, they are set up from the factory to go up to 80% and then pause. So what you're doing is kind of a substitute for what comes on built into the phone.
Well, maybe I need to come to class, but I've got an iPhone and a tablet. I haven't been able to figure out how to set that limit.
Well, it's by default, it's 80%.
Well, mine charged 100%, and this is iPhone 14.
Yeah. All right. Other questions? Well, again, I'd like to thank Jeff, Ralph, Bill, and Shelley for helping us out today, and to our Marine Corps Color Guard. And as it says, folks, that's all. Thank you very much. See you next